Look at this image. What do you see? Most people see nothing, just a random pattern of black and white dots. Now let me tell you, there's a Dalmatian dog in this image walking through a park. I'm guessing you can see it now, and it's hard to unsee. So what just happened in your brain? The photo was introduced by psychologist Richard Gregory in 1970 in his book The Intelligent Eye as a tool for studying human perception. The moment you first look at the image, your retina captured every dot, every edge, every patch of contrast, and sent all of it up into your brain. This is called bottom-up processing, where raw sensory data travels upward from your eyes into your visual cortex, providing the input for interpretation. But your brain couldn't make sense of it, because no matching schema of a dog in that specific pattern of dots was successfully activated. This mismatch can be understood as what modern theories call a prediction error. That state of confusion drives your brain to actively search for a framework that can minimize the error and explain what it's receiving. And then I told you, there's a dog. The word immediately activated everything your brain has ever stored about dogs: their shape, their size, the way their legs connect to their body, the texture of their fur. This organized network of stored knowledge is called a schema. Once that schema is activated, it flows back downward, reinterpreting the exact same dots your eyes had already sent up. And this time, the dog appears. This is top-down processing proposed by Richard Gregory himself, where existing knowledge travels downward to shape how incoming sensory signals get read. But how do we know top-down processing actually happens in the brain? Here's Gregory in his own words.
And when I started, and this is really quite amazing, there was no physiological knowledge that the top-down existed in the brain. It was all thought to come from the eye into the brain directly. And then years later, only about 12 years ago, it was discovered there were actually more nerve fibers coming down into the visual system, actually to relay stations just behind the eyes called the lateral geniculate bodies. There are more fibers coming down from the knowledge parts of the brain than there are from the eyes into the visual system. So it's quite incredible. So it moved from everything is from the eyes to, golly, there's actually more from the higher levels of the brain, the cortex, than from the eyes for vision.
What this photograph and Gregory's work reveals is that perception is not a passive recording of reality, it is constructed by the knowledge and schemas we already carry. Think about first impressions, stereotypes, or the way you read a friend's silence. How much of what you perceive was just your brain's knowledge from the past? And when that knowledge is wrong, not applicable, or outdated, how far do you see things wrongly?